Charlie Poole and the North Carolina Ramblers. They recorded early country music in the 1920s in North Carolina, around Greensboro. And they didn't do just old country songs. They did whatever they wanted to, including a lot of commercial songs that had come out of Tin Pan Alley in New York at the turn of the century and were still being turned out when those guys were playing in the 1920s. And that's where I first heard this song called "Come Take a Trip in My Airship." I thought, I love that song. Later I found out that in fact it was written in 1904 by the same guy that wrote In the Good Old Summertime. Ren Shields was his name. And I think he was taken with the idea in 1904 that very soon somebody would build a dirigible and be able to fly across the Atlantic and it would change the world forever, which it did. So I took it back a little bit from that old-time country way that Charlie Poole played it and made it a little more turn of the century. It says, "Come take a trip in my airship, come have a sail around the stars, come take a trip into Venus, come have a sail round to Mars. No one to tell while we're kissing, no one to tell while we spoon. Come take a trip in my airship, we'll visit the man in the moon." It sounds like this. Come take a trip in my airship, come have a sail around the stars. Come take a trip into Venus, come have a sail round to Mars. No one to tell while we're kissing, no one to tell while we spoon. Come take a trip in my airship, we'll visit the man in the moon. Not too hard for you? All right, I'll try to help you out. So it says, come take a trip in my airship. Come take a trip in my, come have a sail around the stars. Come have a sail, come take a trip into Venus. Come take a trip into, come have a sail around to Mars. Come have a sail around, no one to tell while we're kissing. No one to tell while no one to tell while we spoon. No one to tell while we come take a trip. Come take a trip in my airship. We'll visit the man in the moon. That's beautiful. That's great. Okay, here we go. I once loved a sailor. Once a sailor loved me. He was not a sailor that sailed o'er the wide foaming sea. He owned an airship, flew like the bird on the wing, and every Saturday evening he'd fly through my window and sing. Come take a trip in my airship, come have a sail around the stars, trip into Venus. Come take a trip into Venus, come have a sail round to Mars. No one to tell, no one to tell while we're kissing, no one to tell while we spoon. Come take a trip, come take a trip in my airship, we'll visit the man in the moon. We sang with the birds in the morning, danced with the clouds in the eve. He was lord of the mountains, and I felt I was queen of the sea. I love my sailor, how I long for the day when he flies through my window, and these are the words he will say. Come take a trip in my airship. Come have a sail round the stars, trip into Venus. Come take a trip into Venus. Come have a sail round to Mars. No one to tell. No one to tell while we're kissing. No one to tell while we spoon. Come take a trip. Come take a trip in my airship. We'll visit the man in the moon. So about 8 years ago, I sang this song in Asheville, North Carolina. And a woman came up to me and said, I love that song. I haven't heard it since I was a little girl. And my grandmother used to sing it to me. I said, thank you. So I talked to her for a while, and it turned out it was an even better story. Her grandmother was from Hungary, emigrated to America, moved to Pittsburgh, got a job in Kaufmann's department store, which was enormous at the turn of the century, and later became part of Macy's in Pittsburgh, and would come home at night and sing, come take a trip in my airship down to Kaufmann's great store. I worked in the notions department, I did, but I don't anymore. A lady came in to buy garters. I asked her what kind she wore. She lifted her skirts and said, rubber. I did, but I don't anymore.